And the last thing females have been asking, not directly, but they've asked my wife. They've asked my wife, like, okay, when
Like a soldier, I'ma stand up and pray to my Lord. Like a soldier, I'ma fast my for the day.
It was.
Like a soldier.
Should you do it again?
No,
just for good luck.
Make it cut out.
All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. Amma ba'd. Welcome back to the Genre Podcast. This is Saad Qadri, joined by our two trainers, Shaq and Mujj, Mustafa Shafaq, Shakil Shafiuddin. But this week...
Don't be giving out my last name, bro.
Oh, my bad. This week is actually something unique. We're coming to you sponsored by Peri Peri Original Voodoo Potion. If you want to have something that's hot and tastes great and apparently it may cause crazy addictive cravings and consume at your own risk, this is what you want. It's vegan, it's keto friendly, all natural, no trans fat. My son tried this because my son right now can't have meat. This is the medical situation. And so we had like those soy nuggets. Uh-huh. And I just we baked it in this, and he loved it. Yeah. So
what I did was I put it in chicken, and then I put a bunch of vegetables in it, and then I just ate it. It's pretty good.
For people who like hot stuff, I'm not a hot. I mean, I'm not someone who likes hot food, but my son absolutely devoured it, and then the whole bottle was gone the first 2 days.
We cooked in it. I didn't use it as a sauce. I just used it as actual.
Yeah, we cooked in it too. We cooked in it too. Yeah.
No, I just use it as sauce.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, Voodoo Potion. You can find it on Amazon, and I don't know where else, but push it at your local grocers, and inshallah it'll get on there. Yeah. One of the Muslim brothers from Florida, he started the company. Halal ingredients, halal taste. Actually, halal ingredients, haram taste, because everything haram tastes is good, right? So,
that's not true.
Okay. All right. So this week we have a really enjoyable topic. I realize I get like happy my voice cracks, and I sound like I'm going through puberty again. So we have a really enjoyable topic, and so that's what I have to edit it out. We have the types of workouts. So this is really important for everyone because of the fact that we all want to know what we should do when we begin to work out. And I think we're going to start with...
Where did we start from last time? Last time we talked about how to start working out.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about what kind of exercises there are and where we can start from or what we should do, right?
Yep.
Not even what we can do, what you enjoy. Yeah. I think more.
Well, we'll get to that.
And what's beneficial.
We'll get to that. But how do you start working out? I think we talked about this last time, right? Motivation and all that stuff. Now it's the actual working out.
Yep.
So, Moj, I'll start with you.
With
the first thing we're going to start with, and I'll tell you why, is usually especially when it comes to our guys, like our guys, you tell them, hey man, you're getting old, you're getting out of shape, looks like you need to, start doing something to get healthy. Now, people will just say, oh, you got to lose weight. But the basic premise is to get healthy, right? So we should start understanding that, number one. What do the people do? What's the first thing our guys, especially our guys, and I keep saying this to our guys because, I have friends from, other ethnicities, and they're not as crazy about this as our guys, I feel, are. So, but like the minute you say workout, the first thing they say is,
they usually set up basketball or volleyball or some type of sports activity.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah. I mean, UF is great. You could do that 3-4 times a week. You're good.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you're one of those guys who originally
cardio
purposes. I think in the middle you kind of got to that part, right, where you were like playing a lot of sports and thinking, maybe 5-10 years ago, you guys were doing a lot of UF and basketball.
5-10 years ago, 5-10 weeks ago. Yeah, before it got cold.
We were playing a lot more.
We were playing a lot.
We were playing 3 days a week.
We were playing 3-4. Now we're playing 2 to 3 times a week now.
Oh, really?
Dude, for professionals, people are working. That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. Yeah, that's a lot of time to waste. That's awesome. So what is it with the sports? I mean, why are we covering that? It's one of the first things I want to talk about.
I think the reason we cover it is because when you're doing sports, you're not thinking that you're actually you're not thinking about the sport. You're just playing. You're enjoying your time out there. Whereas sometimes when you're working out, you might not want to be there.
Yeah.
And it gets tough to go pull yourself together in the morning, go by yourself, especially if you don't have a partner to push you. You don't have a trainer to push you. You're just kind of going through the motions. But if you're playing something like Ultimate Frisbee, you're playing something like basketball, you have to move. Otherwise, no one's going to want to pick you up.
You're playing with your friends, yeah. What you said? You got anything on that?
I mean, look.
Sal's not a big sports player, but I have to hear from him.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm always playing sports. So everything we're going to cover today, we're going to have pros and cons.
Yeah.
So the pros with sports is that, one, it doesn't feel like you're working out. And you have the second, you have a bunch of guys who come out. They're all like-minded and like age and like skilled usually. You don't have like one guy who's tearing it up and someone else is just sort of sitting on the side. Usually everyone's able to push themselves. So I love sports. I grew up playing sports. I mean, I played hockey. I played baseball.
That's right.
I played soccer for a couple of years. I mean, I wrestled. I was all into it. So the pro is that it's fun. And then when you're having fun, like when we hit the gym now and you're having a good workout, you can't even tell the time flew by. But people who never hit the gym, for them, they feel like it'll take forever. So they start playing sports, and it's excellent. And it's also great cardio. And we're going to talk about cardio later. But for people like me who are asthmatic and having some type of cardio present in our lives is a great way to do cardio without having to stare at the Stairmaster or the treadmill or the Peloton, etc.
Yep.
So those are positives. You're anti-sports.
I'm anti-sports, so I'll tell you why. First of all, I hear people say, the guys say, you know what, we're getting in shape, let's start playing basketball. Let's set it up once a week, twice a week, and I'll be right back to where I was when I was 24 years old. No, you were 24 years old. You were just naturally skinny. You hadn't had enough time to abuse your body to get to that point that you are at today. So they all of a sudden associate, hey, I used to play basketball all the time when I was in college and high school. I used to be this skinny, so it must have been due to basketball.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the wrong approach, number one, right? It's really not that. You were just young. People, yes, there are people who are overweight when they're young, but the guys that we're talking about who play basketball a lot, who use that mentality, no, you were just young. It wasn't basketball that did that for you. You were just, you were young. You were probably, not there yet. And then the other thing that I kind of, I think people don't understand is that, it's not really working out. That's why you feel like you're not working out, right? I mean, that's what you said. You go to play, basketball.
Yeah, but you're doing it for cardio purposes.
It's exercise,
right?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, okay, so
exercising.
I think last week we said, right, do something.
Right.
So now we're kind of drilling into that. So yeah, do something basketball. But is basketball really beneficial, right? I mean, is it? What else do you guys play? UF. Is UF really
Ultimate Frisbee?
Ultimate Frisbee. Is that really beneficial? And I'll tell you, cardio wise, a little bit, right? I mean, it's not really hit. It's not really. I know you could probably argue that UF is kind of like hit, but it's not timed. It's not structured. It's very random, right? And so the risk of injury is really high. That's another thing that in all sports, right? And then so it's not really steady state cardio. It's not really hit. And the worst part about playing sports is you're not building any muscle. Absolutely none, right? So you're really not working out. I mean, when I say work out, and we're going to get to this, it needs to meet some criteria, right? And so we'll talk about that. One of those criteria is it should be building muscle. Now, if they say, well, I don't know, I just need to lose weight, I really don't care, then you're not understanding what it means or how you're supposed to lose weight. You're not really understanding the true concept. You're just stuck in this childhood dream that, I'm just going to go out with my friends 2 times a week, get away from the family, and play ball. And I really feel like some of these guys are just doing it just to get away and have some activity to do that's not too tiring. It's not work. Because it's not work, right?
The knees over toes guy, he talks about this. The knees over toes guy is the guy. He came up with this whole set of exercises where you're basically, whenever you squat, whenever you do some type of things, you're building all the muscles around your knees in order to strengthen your knees so you don't have knee problems. So what he says is, in addition to all of this, you should keep 1 or 2 days to play sports with people so that all of the exercise you do can be used within that sport.
So this is where I have a problem with sports. If you look at athletes, they work out to play sports.
That's
Right.
You have our guys who go out, and I'm not saying don't go. Something's better than nothing. We have our guys who go out, and even if they're working out, they're only working on the frontal plane. Nothing the transverse plane, nothing the sagittal plane. And now they're making these quick cuts and movements. There goes the ACL.
Yeah.
What does sagittal plane mean?
So there's 3 planes, right? There's what you do in front, what you do to the sides, and what you do in like the rotational basis. And so with our guys, it's always what's front. Even like, do our curls, it's up front. Everything just in this particular plane. Yes.
Yeah.
And nothing horizontal.
Yeah, nothing horizontal. And so here's the thing. if you want to play sports, that workout is so different, right?
Yeah.
That's a lifestyle that these guys live.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at we talked about Kobe's work ethic this other day, right? You should listen to him, right? He's working out 2 hours in the morning, then he's working out 2 hours, and he's practicing. And he's not just shooting hoops. These guys think, oh yeah, he's practicing. He's just going out there and playing hoops. No, he's not doing that. You know, he has strength and conditioning training. He has cardio training. He has his sports training, right? They have all kinds of stuff. They're doing it plyometrics. They do all those turf exercises that we see people doing. The NFL, another great example. That they show a lot more of at the combine and all that when people are working out. What do you think they're doing? They're not playing the sport, and then they're practicing like one move over and over and over and over. What's that doing? That's strengthening, you know. And those guys, they get injured too, right? But our guys who don't work out enough, my problem is you're gonna get injured. You're gonna get worse in health. That's all that happens. The only thing that happens, you're gonna go out really fast. You're gonna go play for a couple of days. And I can't think of one guy that we know who hasn't been injured to some extent or the other, right? And it's usually pretty serious.
That's one thing I do agree with, because even with UF, you're not training for UF. You just kind of go out there running fast. Same thing with basketball. Majority of the time, some people don't even know how to play, and you're playing with them. And you're going up for a layup. All of a sudden, they come and check you.
Yeah, they undercut you.
You injure yourself, then your whole week of workout, your 2 weeks of workout, 3 weeks of workout is gone.
Now you're getting surgery. Some people, how many guys of ours have not to have surgery, man?
Yeah.
Shoulder tears, labrum tears, this tear,
ACLs,
that tear, ACL, MCL, ankle, hip, that whole 9 yards. And the funny thing is, they're not. They're not, you know how you know it's not working is because you're not getting any results. You're not getting any healthier. You're not looking any better. Some guys lose weight. They lose a little bit of water weight, and all of a sudden, like,
no, they'll lose some fat, but the problem is they're losing muscle.
Yeah. Then 1-2 times the amount of times in basketball that most of these people play, they're not losing anything.
Okay, if it's only once a week.
Once a week, maybe
although
twice a week,
I will say they should go once a week and do.
What do they eat afterwards?
Yeah, they all go out to eat bumper burger or something.
So we'll move on from sports, but
no. Before we move on,
I
think we have to do something practical over here, and that is, okay, guys, you're gonna play. Awesome, play with the brothers, play at the masjid. You catch a prayer there as well. But let's just do some things practically. Number one, like you just mentioned, afterwards, don't go and splurge on this
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, like that's what happens. You have this crazy post. Game meal.
No, but if you're gonna do it in the morning and you're going to after to breakfast, go to a breakfast spot and have real breakfast.
Yeah, real
eggs
breakfast.
and oatmeal and stuff like that. A lot of the guys end up at Dunkin' Donuts having these crazy sugary drinks and those nasty egg and cheese croissants and nasty donuts and stuff like that, and you just counteract it.
We play. I usually go to Thursday night basketball. It's called we call it the CBL. It's the Casual Basketball League.
It's worse and worse. There's no point in working out.
And then afterwards, there's nights that we go out to Bumper to Burger. Someone will bring.
I'm not knocking on
donuts.
it. I get it. We need to hang
great.
out.
Yeah.
There has to be some brotherly interaction. I wish I could say you guys can bring that to the gym. It's tough,
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. I'll tell you why. So before we move on to sports, right? The thing with sports is every time we tell you guys to work, anyone thinks about working out, they're running to sports. Our point is that's not really a workout, right?
Yeah.
Is it good pastime? Yes. Does it get you something better than nothing? Sure. But if you're someone who's not getting anything else, guess what? You're definitely going to get injured or you're definitely going to get hurt, That's for sure. If you can train, if you're like a person like Moja, I know works out like 4 or 5 days a week, and then he goes and plays basketball or sports, it doesn't feel that bad to me. I don't feel that bad hearing about it, but then I always have to hear about his injuries, and I'm like, holy cow, just stops playing sports. It's every other day. My foot is hurting, my knee is hurting, my ankle is hurting.
We're gonna get to why he gets hurt so much, very soon.
Yeah, but anyway, so
but also with sports, you got to guys. Once a week, awesome. The other 2 days a week, 3 days a week that you can put in, workout.
Food.
Yeah. So the food, watch what we're eating, and do things, mobility exercises. Work on things that if you're going to play, it'll help save you from injury. That way you can pray properly.
Before we get to sports, the worst are those guys that come to play sports once a week or whatever it is, once in a while, and they're doing these extreme stretches before they start. I'm like, geez, what do you think's gonna happen, man? I really gotta stretch this out, then I won't really get injured. Okay, you're 210 pounds overweight, bro. You look like a ball. I'm pretty sure that's not gonna help, So, but yeah, it's just funny that the things that people think. But yeah, sports is not a workout. Let's just put it that way. I want to start with it. It's an activity.
It'll keep you active.
Yeah,
it'll keep you active. That's good.
For sure.
It's a positive.
And people are, the sensitive people. Something is better than nothing. Yeah, sure, whatever. All right, let's move on. Stretch and yoga. This is a good one. I like yoga. I love yoga and stretch. This is something that, first of all, let me talk about stretching. The reason I was saying that whole, the insane stretching before basketball is because what people don't realize is you can't stretch cold. There's a lot more damage done to your body stretching cold
Right.
Than not stretching. It's better that you do a warm-up, which basically means if you get on the basketball court and you're thinking, okay, I'm coming in cold, well, you know what? Run up and down the court slowly. Do some jogs. Do some dribbling exercises. Do some lateral runs. Do something else. Stretch after the workout. If in between you get a little bit tightness, I can understand. Yeah, stretch it out a little bit. Move. Even if you want to stretch before, again, warm up a little bit. Get your body heated. Make sure that the blood is flowing. Make sure that you break sweat. If not sweat, you should be sweating. But if not, you should, if it's a really, really cold day outside, I understand.
I think it's because people mess it up and say, what's the name? Stretching is warming up when it's not.
Yeah. So warm-up is warm-up, right?
And the warm-up will be dynamic stretching, not static stretching. Like when you're moving, you are stretching.
Yep.
It's some level of stretch. And it's the stretch. You're stretching to what you need in that particular activity. Versus
the stretching thing, we could definitely talk about it.
I remember when we were playing UF, Raheel was telling me, Dr. Raheel.
Yeah.
He was telling me, he's like, don't stretch out. Do dynamic stretch, sit in a squat position, stretch out that way, but don't do anything crazy because I guess studies have shown that when you stretch out too much, you make your muscles more rubbery and then you become more prone to injury.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot of good stuff. So stretches, there's a lot of stuff about stretch. So the muscle fibers, first of all, right? They have they're kind of like interlocked like this, right? So they stretch to a certain when you extend, they stretch to a certain to a certain length, and then when you contract, they come back with force and they contract, right? And the muscle fibers slide back. What happens a lot is if you stretch way past, the muscle fibers should always still be interlocked at some point, but you could stretch to the point where you pull them a little bit apart. Mm-hmm. It could feel good. Usually it shouldn't, but that's kind of where you get to the dangerous part, right? And we'll talk about that when we're lifting too, where do we stop when we're lifting? That's one of the things you have to understand your stretch. Your muscles just are not, people say, oh, you're like, no, you can't, you shouldn't.
Right.
You could, it's good for flexibility, mobility, sure, but for muscle stretch, if you're actually exercising and stuff like that, you have to be very careful. And even when we're stretching, we are using our body weight to stretch. So again, be careful, right? If you don't want to go too past far that part, then you're not going to have a good, you're going to kind of, mess something up for sure.
Going back to the stretching, going back to the yoga part, what I remember, when I was mid-20s, I was doing a yoga class at Export, religiously every Wednesday night. And just from doing that yoga class, everyone used to make fun of me going there, this bearded dude doing yoga with a bunch of people.
A bunch of girls, just say it. Just say it.
All right, with a bunch of girls.
That's why we were wondering anything else. We weren't wondering anything else. We were just like, man, this dude is just chilling in a room full of girls.
But my body...
my body, oh no. Hey, listen, we gotta go on.
He would tell me he would leave drenched. You would sweat a lot from the yoga.
Was it hot yoga?
No, it wasn't hot yoga, but after you were done with that, all of my workouts felt so much better during the week. Even playing sports, I felt good. Everything was nice and loose. And then to the point where I would carry it over and do some of the pigeon stretches just for my hip flexors. And then what I noticed is after I stopped that, all of my legs got super tight because I just wasn't doing it anymore. And everything started going back and constricting.
Yeah. So I'm not pro yoga.
I hear about this. What is this?
Yeah, so
is it an Islamic thing?
This is an Islamic thing, yeah.
It is?
Yeah. There's some scholars like Mona Sajjad Nomani, Dr. Umar Farooq Abdullah, they're and others. They're of the opinion that the intrinsic religious connection to polytheism is such that it's spiritually detrimental. But having said that, stretching is very good. I know Montauk Shamil Saab does do...
okay, so I'll stop you there. There is no really... I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this. I know that people say, oh, this om vibration. I'll get to that too. Let me first start with this. Yoga and stretching is not a workout. So if you're thinking, hey, I got to get healthy, I'm going to go do yoga, you're out of your mind. All right? Is it good for you? Yes. Is it good to be loose? Is it good to be, good to have, good range of motion? Yes. those are all great. But if you're not working out and you're just stretching, then I don't know what you're doing. Gumby, it's really, it feels great. That's another thing, right? Anything that feels good, people are like, oh my God, it must be good for you. No, it does feel good. But if you're not working out and you're just doing yoga, and I see people, well, look, that lady on thing, she's so skinny, she does yoga. Yeah, she probably doesn't eat much either. And who knows, probably runs like 100 miles. I don't know. But they really don't, you can't lose weight and you can't get healthy from doing yoga. As an add-on, I've prescribed yoga to a lot of people who have back aches, knee aches, problems that I see when they're working out, tightness issues. There's a guy who couldn't even do ruku, and he was really not even really working out, but I couldn't even get him to work out because the situation was pretty bad, so I had to send him to yoga. I like hot yoga a lot too. I think hot yoga is really, really beneficial. The temperature is really warm. It does have benefits to you too. Now, what is yoga, right? Yoga is really, it's like a very old, and people associate this with Hinduism and all this stuff like that, but it's really it's just such an interesting concept. There's two things. There's yoga and there's something called pranayam, right? So that part where they do the breathing exercises and where they do that noises like the om and stuff like that is a different science than actual yoga itself, right? So yoga is just actual body stretching, stuff like that. Their whole concept is to just let go and be free. Now there's no talking about gods and polytheism and stuff like that. And I've trained with a yogi master from back home from India, one of those ones who like learned it in Sanskrit type of thing, like in the temples and stuff. And there was nothing like that at all. And all the movements that they do have nothing to do with their prayers. They have nothing to do with any kind of thing. And when they're talking about spirituality, they're really talking about just connecting to nature and just letting go, not talking about any god or anything like that.
I think it depends what type of yoga it is, because there are some Hindus that are like crazy about the yoga thing.
They believe that yoga helps them, like, because it touch inner self, gets them to that spiritual level. But for them, it's not about gods. They really don't care about gods anyways.
I think over here it's like that because it's more monetized. It's
more like just about the health. It's not really a religious thing at all. It's not really a religious thing at all. And the funny thing is, the movements that they're doing, the stretches that they're doing, when you look at ruku and you look at sujud, we have to do those, certain type of yoga movements too. And we're doing it for the same purpose that they're doing it for almost, right? They're doing it to just stretch things out, get the blood moving to the right places, and get that spiritual high. Yeah, and what's what prayer is, right? Prayer is trying to get you to that spiritual level. How do they do it? I mean, it's not like prayer was prescribed to us for exercise or for yoga, right? It was to pray, but we do those specific movements during prayer, right? And so that's to get you closer to Allah somehow, to get you more spiritual. If it was just to concentrate and focus super hard, why would we need to move, right? We could just really just muraqabah, right? Perfect example. You can get really close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can really think about Him. You can really meditate. And that's fine, right? I mean, that's just as good as connecting to Allah. But the prayer, the movements and all that, and I'm sure you probably have much more Islamic history and behind that. But when I'm looking at it from this perspective, I'm like, man, these movements are very yoga-ish, like, And I know there's some ties way back. We don't know where it comes from and all that. Some people even say that their original religion was monotheistic and it turned into polytheism. But it really isn't having any connection. And I heard that from somebody else the other day, and I was shocked. I was like, dude, you really need to do it. Like, you can't sit properly. I think you should try it. And his whole thing was, isn't it dabbling with, like, I'm like, no, it's not. Go to the white person here and at Power Yoga and get some yoga done,
Going back to your reason about the religious thing, can't you just do yoga for the stretching aspect of it?
So there's no religious aspect to it. What are you guys talking about? Like, where do you guys get that from? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And even Om, let me explain to you before I go on. Om, and that thing that they do, the vibrations, believe it or not, have scientific, backing. Even the vibrations that they do is if those fine-tuned torque, the tuning fork things that the people put on, they do all that weird psychological. So, anyways, there's electricity running through your body. There's all this. I'm blanking on it, but doing those breathing exercises and doing those vibrating noises are not for anything else but to stimulate the brain.
I'm not going to stop anyone. This is just my personal stance. I do think stretching is necessary. I think having focused stretching sessions are great. I personally love when people focus enough in their prayer. If you're praying your fard, your sunan, your witr and everything, you're really getting your body into a nice mobile state. And people may need to do work outside of it. I used to sit in front of a mirror or stand in front of a mirror and begin to adjust my body to make sure I can do the prayer properly. I don't have a problem with people doing it. I just personally don't do it. And that's all I was saying. Nothing
But
else.
it's not a workout. So let's keep it at that. A great stretching routine. I think, if you're working out, especially if you have tightness, if you have all these pains, standing up and sitting, I think, before you're going to doctors and all that stuff, you should definitely try it.
So speaking of not a workout and pain, what's next on the list?
CrossFit.
I
Do you want to take this one? Moj started CrossFit recently, so that's why we've been kind of picking on him. CrossFit. Explain to us what CrossFit really is.
Yes.
I can't even explain it.
There's multiple things that I love about CrossFit, and there's
explain
also
to us what it is.
CrossFit is
It's a
basically
sport, right?
a type of workout. They inculcate a bunch of different exercises, usually Olympic style lifting,
Powerlifting a lot.
a lot of powerlifting, a lot of pull-ups, deadlifts, thrusters. So basically your core lifts, and then in a competitive way. So for example, you might have a simple workout where you do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats for a straight 20 minutes and see how many how many rounds you can get. So then you're kind of competing with yourself, but then since you're doing it in a class environment, you're kind of competing with everyone in the class too. So I started it about
It's timed or rep, right?
it depends on the class.
Even
depends on
each
workouts.
set, right? So if you have 20 minutes, so it could be like 1 minute, 1 minute, or it could be just 5, 10, 15. Yeah,
5, 10, 15. It just depends what it is.
So
Depends on the workout. I started $8 months ago. The reason I like the main reason I liked it is because it's timed. You have certain times you have to go.
Yeah.
The class runs for an hour. The first 25 minutes is just stretching. And that's like the best. That's like my favorite part. And then after that, the last 20 minutes or 30 minutes is just going really hard at whatever exercise that you're doing. And then the way our coaches kind of split it up is you'll have 3 days of like your hardcore CrossFit type exercises, and then 2 days are like more heavy compound lifting type exercises. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds.
So why don't you like that?
Kind of. I don't like CrossFit. I think, there's no structure. It's just like go, 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 go. Go all out. Kind of balls to the walls type of workout. And
Can you use any other phrase?
that's what they say, right? But I mean, I think it's too dangerous. Like, that's what I feel like. It's a lot of throwing, a lot of jerking movement. It's just time. I know a lot of coaches nowadays in CrossFit are really like trying to focus on form and trying to say, hey, learn this form and do it. I think it's really tough, the kind of clientele you get. Unless they're people who are all athletes, that should be fine. But if you're getting like beginner clients, the kind of people that we teach, you throw them in a CrossFit class, they're not coming back.
I think it depends on the coach too, because we have multiple coaches that are there, and there's 2 coaches that are really good. So anyone, if you're extremely heavy and you can't do any of these lifts, they can coach you with modified type exercises for those lifts. Whereas majority of the coaches, and you'll hear like the Athlean X guy, you'll hear the Mind Pump guys, you'll hear the Bioneer guys. They all talk about the same
Bioneer
thing.
came out with a really good one today about body fat.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's
What
really
do they
good.
say about CrossFit?
They basically say that a lot of the coaches suck.
No, I just think it's a lot of, it's not. I don't see these guys, lasting that long. I don't see this being something that they can upkeep for a long time. I don't see this being sustainable. I don't see this being, healthy in the long run. It's like sports. You smash up your joints, you smash everything up in the 5-10 years that you're going all nuts, and then after that, what?
I agree with you to a certain extent.
There's no way they can maintain joint health and spinal health and all that stuff doing what the stuff that they're doing. It's like too fast, too jerky. There's absolutely no. The workout is work. Reality. I know people hate it, but there's nothing like I get it. People want to enjoy everything in life, but some things you just have to understand. Your health is important, right? It's really important to be healthy. It's really important to be strong. And how you do that is work. You don't accomplish things by just having fun all the time or just going in and saying, well, workout sucks, but CrossFit, oh my God, it's so much fun. There's 20 guys going for 20 minutes. They just created a culture, and that's what they've done. They haven't really given us anything great. it can never replace the true workouts of like, which we're going to get to, which I think is the ultimate kind of like the best way, and for everything, whether you're trying to bodybuild or whether you're just trying to stay healthy, there has to be some structure, there has to be some rest. I mean, all those things matter. These guys, they're great in shape, yes, they're ripped, and then they're temporary, and I don't think they're going to be, after 50 and 60 and 70. First of all, they can't do those workouts.
So after going through some of like a couple of months of these exercises, I've noticed is that I like doing some of the more intense workouts for the 20, 25, 30-minute workouts.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do need to supplement it for, regular workouts now. Yeah. So I notice like there's no real bis or tris that are being used. Yeah. A lot of it is all just back. A lot of it is your legs and then your shoulders. So they get those.
And it's just general, man. There's no like isolation type of work. Well, I mean, isolation is not always necessary, but even like, we have... Specifically, we work out on our hamstring. Specifically, we work on inner quads, outer quads. Over there, it's not too much thinking about that. It's just like, hey, just go all out and do whatever.
No, they do have a structured. They do have a structured program of what they want to hit every month. But you're right, it's not consistently. Like, it's not like 1 month we're going to be focusing on legs. 1 month we're going to be focusing on chest. It's just you just go with the feel and try to up your personal records.
What do you think about this?
My one issue with CrossFit, just one issue is, I feel like people's form is not taken into consideration. I feel that
I think that goes with the coaches. So,
but I never attended a class.
Yeah.
This is just speaking to people and watching things online related to CrossFit. But when I've seen some of the pull-ups, when I've seen
the kipping pull-ups, man. I talked to a CrossFit one guy, and I was like, "This is not a pull-up. What the heck is this?" Right? He's like, "Well, it's the same amount of work going from here to here." I'm like, "What? You're throwing yourself up there, and I'm pulling myself up there. They're two very different things, And he just goes, "No, it's the same amount of work. It's the same amount of work." I'm like,
so my fear is that with the form being compromised, that there's going to be injury eventually.
Definitely injury.
Yeah.
And then I feel also with the form being compromised, there's going to be bad habits in the long term. So even when the person eventually decides that this is too much intensity, too much, my joints are now hurting, etc. There's a lot of aches and pains. I'm going to move on to something else. And then they take that muscle memory into, let's say, strength training and resistance training. They have poor form. And so that's where I just have an issue with CrossFit.
I think that's definitely true, because if you looked at the comments of all of those people that I mentioned, everyone was kind of saying the same thing. You can tell who had a really bad coach versus who had good coach. And the ones that had good coaches, those guys are still doing CrossFit. They're still going 100%. But the ones that had bad coaches and they didn't have proper form, they didn't have, someone stretching them or watching them stretch and warm up.
Your stretches are awesome.
Yeah.
Your stretches are awesome.
Yeah. So there's good points. I don't think it's all bad. I just don't think CrossFit should be like your one goal. Yeah, I don't think so. And speaking to our community, the people that probably watch our podcast, I don't recommend CrossFit for some people who are, if you're new to working out, and if you're just getting into it and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna go join this CrossFit. I mean, I guess they have beginner classes, which are okay, but I mean, again, this goes back to our ethnicity and where we come from. That's just not an exercise that you guys are going to be able to, or we're going to be able to sustain for too long. That's our joints are not made for that kind of stuff. So
let's move on. Are we going to go to circuit training or HIIT?
Yeah, so we're trying to keep our podcast a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So the next ones are circuit training, HIIT, and cardio, and even I'll throw CrossFit into this group too. These are the exercises. Oh wait, you know what? Let's start with group training. Group training classes are the ones that we talk about. That you go to Export and you go to LA Fitness, and there's one instructor in front and like 20 people in the back, and they're all doing the same thing. Are those classes good? Are those classes great? I taught those classes myself, and I'm going to tell you, those classes are literally there because there's people out there who just don't want to work out, who just want to come to the gym, feel like they're doing something, but then when they get there, they want, they just need that group atmosphere. It's like a whole someone who just doesn't want to do the work. That's what it is, They get in there, they're doing Zumba, they're doing whatever they want to. I've taught the Muscle Max class, I've taught Nike classes. They're good, they're okay. Once in a while, I guess they're great. I've used to have people who used to actually, work out, and then they would come and take, and it was always females, and they would come in and take this class like once in a while, once a week or twice a week, just kind of get that cardio going. If you don't want to jump on the treadmill, you go to those classes. But if you're relying on just those classes to get you healthy, you're wasting your time. Have fun. The rest of the ones up there, and I know you guys don't care about group training, so I'm not going to.
I was gonna say I think group training is great. It depends on where
what?
you're going.
No, there's nowhere to go. I'm telling you.
For
all the
example,
classes are,
for example,
Remember that like session you did for group training?
who?
Mudge, that
Well,
like
that's different. That's our class. You know what I'm saying? You
no,
know,
I'm saying like for example,
that's not group training. That's still us training. Group training is not we're personalized training in a class setting of 4 or 5. This is like 20, 30 people. There's definitely no training involved in that. Meaning, I taught this class. There's 30 people. You can't even see who's out there. You know, I'm way up there. Usually, there's a platform or something like that.
I'm talking like OTF type training, like
What's OTF?
Orange Theory.
No.
So-
Orange Theory is not group training. Orange Theory will fall under hit.
It's okay. So then
Hit or circuit.
define your group training.
I just told you. You go to LA Fitness, you go to Export Fitness, or you go to Lifetime Fitness, and they have those group free classes that you go in.
Right.
It's a Muscle Max. You have Nike Pro. They have all kinds
But
of
there's
stuff.
so
They
many-
have Zumba in there. They have everything in there, right?
With group training, you could categorize this like
No, I'm talking
so
about
many
those.
different
I'm
things.
talking about one instructor with 30 to 40 people in the back, and they're not training. They're just doing exercise, and everyone's following along. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what they're doing. It's like Zumba. You ever seen Zumba?
Yeah.
That's what a Zumba is.
Th-
And they have many classes like that.
Didn't you teach
That-
a few
Yeah.
Zumba classes?
No, I never talked to them.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest thing for me when I'm training is not to just jump in and work out with them and just hey, just follow me, because it's like, come on, you're working out. I want to work out too. It's just like you have to. No, because
No, they do. They all. I mean, we have to work out with them in the group training thing. You know. We're like
I
doing-
wish.
showing them moves.
That's what I would love.
I'll do like 4 or 5, for like a couple of seconds, and then once they start to get going, then you get up and you kind of just encourage them, and then all right, 30 seconds, next move. It's just nonstop. I think it's good cardio, but you're not gonna get any results from there. And I
But-
tell you, I was training there for years, and nobody I ever saw got
It's
results
kind
in
of
my
like
class.
the insanity concept.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done insanity. Insanity is like the
P90X on steroids.
Yeah.
it's not P90X tense. It's more cardio type work. It's basically it's a plyometric type
Those home
workout.
workouts don't work, man.
You watch a video for the first month is like 40 minutes of video, and then the second month is like an hour of video.
Yeah.
So I've done insanity a few times, and the reasons why I did insanity was number one, so I can get consistent again in working out. What's the name? You didn't have to go anywhere. You could just do it from your living room. It's basically just.
No, but don't push
jump
that stuff
type
on our show, bro. Insanity and P90X.
I'm not pushing it. I'm saying.
But there's one from what you were saying. Sorry, what you were saying?
I was just saying this.
Continue
It's the
reason why
same
they-
concept. It's the same concept of the group exercise. Like,
Yeah.
no one's coming there to help you.
Yeah, that's
You're
true,
just
too.
looking at the video. You're
Yeah.
looking at what the guy is doing, and you're following.
But still,
along
I
to
guess
your
you can
best.
follow. I guess you can drop that into the group cardio. The group.
Yeah.
They're all the same, you know.
But for people who aren't doing anything,
Yeah.
I think this is a really good option because they get in, they start moving, and eventually.
Sure, it's just like sports, though, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no injury, no risk to injury, except for the fact that no one's watching you.
People, I mean, sort of watching you, and I just, if someone is going to choose something where they're not going to go into what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, it's and group training is there, and they go into a gym.
Yeah.
At least they're in the gym, so that's a really good habit. And then they're probably going to start noticing people who are more serious, and eventually, I think they'll graduate onto it. Wallah
Yeah,
alam,
I
if they will.
think some of them will. Some of them just are stuck in this group theory mentality, man. I tell you, I used to train at a big box gym, and I used to watch these. Because I used to train, I used to watch people come to the same classes. I didn't even, not even the classes that I taught, some other classes, whatever. 2 years, 3 years, not a pound. I was the same fat. Anyways, circuit training, let's go to circuit training. Okay, so circuit training is cool. Circuit training is basically, you kind of just work, there's CrossFit is almost like circuit training too, to some extent, right? You're doing like 4 to 5 exercises in a row. You kind of do one, exercise A, B, C, D, and then you go back to A, B, C, D. You could do it in 3 rounds. You could do it timed. You could do it by sets. But the point is that you're not doing isolated type of workouts where you're just doing chest and back or anything like that. Or you could do it with any kind of, any body parts. But you're doing a bunch of exercises at one. You're not finishing 1 or 2 exercises like supersets and then moving to the next station. You're doing station by station, then you keep going in rounds. I like it. I think we do a lot of circuit training in our classes.
Right.
It's a great way for newbies to kind of get in and start working out, especially for full body workouts. I love circuit training.
Brings cardio and
brings a nice amount
strength
of
training
cardio
together.
without doing HIIT. Right? It's not a HIIT cardio,
Right.
but it's enough to get your heart going.
Yeah.
The reason I like circuit training
I
is
love training circuit training. I love training circuit training. Right? Like
yeah,
we do.
I could see that.
It's more fun, right? Because you just
Right.
you set up the stations and then they just go boom, and you get to watch them. You get to watch everybody and train them at their station, but it's fixed and they get a pump out of it,
You were saying?
I'm saying the reason I like doing circuit training is you're pushing yourself for that whole minute.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing reps and sets,
Well, for that whole round, right?
yeah, but if you're doing reps or going for reps, then you hit your 8 and you're like, forget it. I don't need to do 9, 10.
That's true. That's why I don't. But that's one of the reasons I don't like circuit training. I mean, I like it, but the one downside, you hear that. So if you're a trainer and you're doing circuit training, and they're supposed to be for that cycle, it's 1 minute rounds.
Hit or
yeah,
circuit.
If it's going to be like a 45-second round, put 50 seconds on that timer. Because when people hear that beep, that countdown beep, they just stop.
I never used that before. We just started using it.
Yeah.
It's really good for us, because we can know when to start and start without having to look at the phone, look at the watch.
But they stop, and they keep themselves a solid
like
2, 3, 4
dogs,
seconds.
Man. You can't do anything about it.
I mean, and if you think about like you have 6 rounds in one cycle. That's 18 seconds there.
Yeah,
and if you have like, I don't know, but by the second round, that's 36 seconds. That's over half a minute.
Yeah,
By the, I mean,
minutes.
you're losing minutes, and so that's one thing I don't like. The other thing is
I think that's when you're training someone during circuit. But if you yourself are doing kind of circuit,
I'm weak.
You can kind of push yourself.
We did circuit. Remember at Norfolk when we were
I would just make sure you guys aren't watching me, and I started.
They're tough workout, which leads us to HIIT. HIIT is pretty much almost the same as high intensive interval training.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about HIIT is that you can do it on anything. The same thing with circuit. I think circuit is more weightlifting. If people already have that in kind of like that notion, it's weightlifting. HIIT it could be cardio, and it could be a little bit mixture of a little bit of strength training and cardio. Whatever you want. I love doing HIIT with like a little bit of strength and a little bit of cardio, like
it's time efficient.
Yeah, that's what HIIT is not like you don't do anything steady state. It's all high intensity and it's done in intervals. So you usually do like 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds off. That's like the Tabata like rhythm, right? Or you can do 30 seconds on and 20 seconds off for 1 minute on. I mean, whatever you want.
That's how I like doing my cardio, because I hate
I love it.
running.
I can't do cardio
on a treadmill.
So what I do is I get with you guys once every 2-3 weeks, and I do a HIIT or I do a circuit training at those gyms, and that's enough cardio.
Well, it burns more fat than
yeah. So HIIT does. So here's the thing: steady state is really good for your heart. Steady state cardio meaning like you're
low intensity steady state. Yeah.
Well, it is at whatever intensity it is, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be high intensity. I don't think you do high intensity steady state, but you could do a good. Some guys like the marathon runners run a pretty decent.
That's true.
Stuff. Right. So if you're a good runner and you can run, steady state is great for your heart and respiratory. So the good cardio workout. That's a good cardio workout. HIIT. Great cardio workout as well, but you get to burn fat like a maniac, especially if you're doing if you're adding a little bit of strength training in there or any kind of workout. You're gonna burn a lot more fat.
What's your guys' go-to HIIT workouts that you just love doing?
Oh my god, box jumps, sprints. I used to do sprints, in the morning from a cardio. So I'd be like every 2-3 days.
Fasting cardio?
No, he doesn't fast anything.
I only fast in Ramadan, bro. But I used to eat oatmeal, and I'd go outside after half hour, and I would just do sprints, and that was like a HIIT. I would do time, like as fast as you can, and then stop. As fast as you can, and stop. As fast as you can, and stop. And it was a great workout,
How about you?
Well, I remember when I was swimming, you would tell me to do like one lap, just give it everything, and then like do 2 laps, more relaxed. But I like to really with my boxing.
Yeah.
Go HIIT.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I like to go really intense for 1 minute.
Take a 30
and then
break,
30 second. Yeah. And then in the break, I'm still bouncing.
Right.
Might be, fainting. I might be, I'm serious. It's movement.
The few boxing thing we did in your garage, those were really fun.
Yeah, those are a
like
lot,
the
yeah.
MMA boxing stuff that
Yep.
we did.
That's a lot of fun.
But I think the main point that we should learn about HIIT and circuit training, CrossFit training, I'd say, even group training, is that can't be your primary workout. Those are great add-ins, because it does. I get it. Workout is work. Remember this. We're gonna get to that. Workout is work. It can get boring. It can get sometimes you demotivated. You're like, I don't feel like doing it. Great, man. Go jump into a CrossFit class. Go jump into a group training class. Go do a HIIT workout. Go do circuit training. Those are the days that you do that. Yeah. Great. I like to do at least like by the way, we are releasing an app. Totally forgot to talk about this.
Yeah, we're supposed to push the app.
Yeah, so we are soon releasing an app. Hey Sim, can you zoom in on this?
I think we have to like put it on.
I'll put it on there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can zoom in, you'll see this little yellow thing. I don't know if you can see it, but that's our John Moran.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get it better. Maybe we could, maybe we'll have someone at the end of the video we'll post it. But that we're still in kind of the beta phase right now. So it's cool. We're putting this app together.
Can we tell them when the launch is, or is that not?
We're trying to launch it by 2/22.
Yeah, 2/22. Yeah. Well, it's not.
I don't think so. Hopefully by Ramadan it'll be up and running full. I think.
Oh man, I thought we were
a good goal.
Okay.
But one of the things that when we were creating those workouts and we were putting like these 4-day workouts for Friday, because these are all on your app, so you can do it anywhere. I hit like type of workout or a circuit training cardio type of workout into that one, into the of those 4 days. One of those days like a hit cardio workout, right? So that's a great, like if you're gonna do something like that, that's great. But just doing cardio, just doing hit, just doing circuit training or CrossFit, you will get some results, but you're not gonna get the full potential of being healthy by just doing those, right?
Yeah.
So,
No, by the way, what's your go-to hit?
My go-to
Yeah.
hit?
you just CrossFit. What do you need to hit for?
My go-to hit is for sprinting.
Sprinting. Yeah, we do sprinting when we did it together.
Fudger morning.
Yeah,
cold,
we did a lot of
-degrees.
sprinting.
Yeah.
Those were
In the snow.
Yeah.
The ones that we put up in those like Elite and even Northbrook, those were fun. We would hit like we would do sled pushes. Right?
Yeah,
And we
I
do
love the
box
slide.
jumps.
The slide's my favorite.
And you know what I love doing it with hit? I love doing snatches with hit, like a barbell snatch.
With hit.
In a hit moment. I love it. It's a full body workout, right?
Snatches are my worst. I hate snatches.
I love snatch. Overhead snatch?
Well, actually, snatches are not bad. Thrusters are my worst.
Yeah.
Can't stand thrusters.
Snatches are hard. But overhead snatch it's a great workout. We didn't talk about powerlifting in here, and I think we probably skipped.
No, it's coming up. Yeah. But one thing about lists, like low intensity, steady state cardio, for those of you who have aches and pains, joint issues, this is a great place to start. You can do it. You can walk to prayer if you live near the masjid. Establish a pace. Don't just lollygag looking around. Establish a pace and maintain it. It will not hurt your joints. You will add up the hours or the minutes throughout the day, which will become hours throughout the week.
Right.
There'll be a steady burning fat. You'll burn fat. Heart health will increase. You're not going to gain muscle per se, but at that point, it might not even be your purpose or intention, your objective.
Just to get moving. Right?
Yeah, get moving. So that's a really
but make sure your heart rate is raised a little bit.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like
strolling down like
Sheikh
the
Hashim, the scholar in Cali now.
In Cali now?
Yeah.
You moved back to Pakistan?
Yeah, he's moved.
Oh,
up.
nice.
I think he's teaching in LA somewhere.
Okay, cool.
His routine, from what I've heard, is that after Fajr he goes for a 30-minute walk, and it's like an intense walk, and in that he finishes his juz of Quran and his zikr.
Yeah, and a lot of our mashayikh in the Kaaba, they would do that because being healthy and being in shape was part of our deen. It always has been a part of our deen. So they would walk like La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. And they'd be like, oh, this guy's Sufi. No, but they would do their azkar in it.
Right.
They really were able to maximize their time. I would love if people, and this is a really good way to get your family to start getting into shape. You have family bike rides.
Oh yeah.
You go
family hiking.
Family hiking.
Those are good activities.
Yeah,
but they're not substitutes for working out, guys. Don't come to me and say, "Oh, I go hiking, I go biking with my family in the summertime, so yeah, I've been working out." No, you're not.
So before we move on,
good activities, great activities to do with the family, and I'll tell you what, for kids, that's enough. Right?
Yeah.
You take them on bike rides, you take them to the park, you play sports with them, you let them run around. That is a kids exercise. Yeah. That's what kids need to do. They need to literally be outside playing and running and whatever sports they want to play. I don't care. Kids up to the age of whatever 15, 16, 17, they should be out playing. Really, they should be doing a lot of like just playing outside. I don't care if they're playing tag or whatever it is. Throw them outside and let them play outside. That's what's healthy for them. It's healthy for you to do that with them, on different levels. But as far as physically being fit, gaining actual good health, taking yourself out of risks and dangers of being, sick or disease or having diseases and illnesses, you need to. That's not enough.
I think
have an actual workout regimen or workout.
That that how like you walk up the stairs when you go to work, you don't walk up, your objective at work is not to walk up the stairs. That's just getting to your office.
Yeah, but
then you can tell, like, why am I breathing hard? Why is my chest hurting?
Right.
So when you're out with your kids and you're playing with them and you're like, why is my chest hurting? Why am I about to collapse? That's a good indicator about where you are. So when we interact with our kids, that should be sort of our litmus test to see what my health is. Yeah. That should not be our workout. Now, saying this, a couple quick things. Number one, time. So I think but that's gonna be a long one. No, so I think that should be our next episode.
No, it won't be that long.
Really?
No.
Once you get started on that, it's not gonna be long.
I think we could probably let's cover it a little bit.
No, man, we leave them hanging. We tell them like, hey, you gotta come back next episode for this, because we gotta push the voodoo potion again. Yeah. We also gotta talk about this app. The app, there's a deal coming out with the app.
Yeah.
I think right now.
So the app is kind of cool. So the app is it could be you could have just a general kind of a membership for the app where you have your workouts. It has habit reminders, which I think are really cool.
Yeah.
Something that's kind of
prayer reminders, Quran reminders,
all those things. But those are habit reminders,
yes.
right? And it's kind of more and more being understood that healthiness is not just going to the gym and working out, but having creating healthy habits. So we were kind of trying to incorporate that into that. There's a lot of accountability factors in there. You got to check in with us, on certain times. And then I think cool stuff. Even it's actually connected to MyFitnessPal, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually put your meals in there and kind of track that. So we have a couple of different programs. I think that
the videos are packages. We do the videos ourselves.
Oh yeah, the videos are going to be pretty cool. So
yeah, no, because people sometimes complain.
It's doing all the videos.
Yeah, well, mostly them.
Yeah,
like,
mostly it's the videos.
Yeah, those two. But now, like,
those.
but most of you have people dressed properly.
Yeah.
Doing the videos.
Yeah, so that's another thing that we're trying to do. I mean, one thing is definitely we want to have a unique app for Muslims. It's not just about there's quite a few apps out there that are made by Muslims for Muslims, and they're awesome. There's nothing wrong with those. We have our own niche group here in Chicago. Our workout style and our training is a little bit different than a lot of the people that are out there. So we wanted to throw that. We wanted to encompass that in the app somehow. So we found this the app, and we kind of built it out. And it has all that stuff, and it's highly customizable, right? So if I have a client that can't make it to me, and they want to do the workout that John Ware does, then we can actually customize those workouts on there. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty robust app. We're really excited about it.
Do all the members
actually? I'll tell you, our partner Horace is the one who kind of brought this whole app thing into our lives.
Voodoo guy.
Voodoo. It was pretty cool. One day he just called me up out of the blue. I think he came to DS, and there was so much hype about John Ware, especially
He came to DS.
His mom was in Lombard, so he's here often. He used to live here in Chicago, and he came here for, I don't know why he was here, but this was like maybe 2-3 months ago, and we've been running at Dar es Salaam for a good since Ramadan.
October.
Yeah, no, we've been there.
No, we took a break.
Yeah, we've been there since like August or September. We started there.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
And then September I think we started there classes. Yeah. And then and we had the Ramadan program here, and we built a good amount of hype. And then he was here, and he just kind of heard about it a lot, and he knows me, so he calls me up. He goes, "Man, I've been hearing some great stuff about all the stuff that you guys have been doing here, and I'm not here, but I would love to be able to benefit from something like this." And he was really just trying to get me to send him workouts and talk to him. And he's a good friend of mine. But it's hard, timing wise and everything. And so I mean, we're all his timing is so hard. And so, he kind of got sick of asking me, and finally he was like, "Hey, man, we should just build an app. Build an app because you really have something unique to offer. It's really cool. I actually, paid a lot of money. He paid like $2,000 for this app that he, used to get fit, get back in shape.
And it worked.
App. Yeah, this was kind of where he got the idea from. And that app, and he paid a lot of money, and it was for like 3 months or 4 months. But he said he gained a lot of benefit from there, and he got some great results. And he was like, the program that we do, can we just take it virtual? And I'm not a big fan of virtual workouts. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really am of the mindset that, and this is not just for working out, this too, right? I dislike even people coming to our houses and teaching us Quran. I'm just of that old school kind of mentality. If you want to learn it, you should go and seek it. You shouldn't be sitting at home and bringing it. You lose so much benefit in that. And I think, Saad probably agrees with me on those two, right? Mother says they preach us that a lot. They hate a teacher that comes to your house. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but like, how much self-respect does that teacher have for himself? I mean,
I think the teacher's offer. No, the teacher's sacrificing and like really going out of his way because people are not coming. Like he's.
I guess I mean, but if you have something to offer, and we have something great to offer. We do. We have an amazing program. It's not something that just kind of like
because the profit went to others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he didn't wait for people to come to him.
It's a tradition in our deen, right? Yeah. I mean, like the Bukhari, great example, right? Traveled all over the world to just gain one hadith. He traveled across the countries. It's not that we're giving you guys something that valuable as a hadith, but my point is, it is a value, right? You're coming to get healthy. Your intention is to be healthy and be a better person, to be a better Muslim, be all that stuff. We offer that, and it's not easy, man. It's not easy. You guys are training with me for the last 3-4 months. So it's not easy, right? I mean, we just show up to class and it seems like that, but we talk about those workouts all day. This guy is pinging me. He's pinging me. How should we do it? What should we do? And we're planning it, and then we're there, and we're actually, and it's not like this is not it's not monkey business that we're teaching. You know, I mean, people charge lots and lots of money for training because we've honed in our skills. We've taken 25 years to actually learn it and experiment with it and understand it and train other people with it. And then today we're here and we're only here to service the community. We're just here to service people to get healthier. I mean, that's really our passion. Yeah. It hasn't been about money. And there are so many gyms that have opened up in the past, even in the Muslim community. There's apps, there's gyms, there's some guys that had worked with me for a little while. It was all about the money. They didn't know anything about working out. They didn't know anything about gyms. It was just about, oh man, there's a fad going on. Everyone's jumping on the wagon. Let's just offer something and make business. It was like a COVID testing centers. That's exactly what gyms have become, you know? There's money in there. Let's get in, you know? And I have a perfect example. I won't say it, but that's exactly what their thing was. Hey, there's so much money in it. We got to tap into that market. And I was like, that's not why I'm here. That's not why I started in 2015. I didn't come here because I thought, oh my God, there's so much money in the Muslim community. Let me go grab that. No, I really thought, I'm like, man, I started looking at all the people around me and they're just falling apart. And I was like only 35 at the time, and then my friends at 35 were, they were having heart problems, our next hypertension, all those things.
For our next podcast or one of the future podcasts, we should talk about like what is genre.
Yeah, I definitely want to, and we're definitely gonna have a podcast about training. You know, trainers, training companies, and training. I have a lot to say about that too. You know, a lot of that is a scam out there. You know, a lot of people are charged. You know, if you go to a gym and all they're talking to you about is their packages and their pricing and trying to get you in the door, and they're really pushing you, they're selling the hell out of you, you're probably in the wrong gym. You know, they don't care about you. You know, I don't ever ask anyone to come back to my class or push them to buy it. Come in, try it. That's my thing. Come try me. Just try it. One class, I guarantee you're going to be back. You know, it's impossible if you train with me one time that you're not coming back. So, and that's just my confidence level. You know, that's because I have something there. So I really don't. You know, the virtual thing is tough, but we really wanted to push something as personal as possible into the app, and Harris came up with a great solution, and I hope to God it has the same effect that it would have, or as close to the effect that it would have if you came and see us in person. Saw us in person. You know, you can't get the same benefit. It's just like you can't pray at home. It's not the same as praying in the masjid. You know, you can learn Quran at home. You can have a teacher come. It's not the same as your kid going to the masjid and actually learning that. You know, making the trip, sacrificing, taking time out, preparing for it, understanding how important this is, and then you come out and you do it. There's different results from that. You know, that's guaranteed. And I know these guys have garage gyms. I have a garage gym. I have it for my family. I always say that. I rarely work out in there, but you know, it's the same thing. I don't feel like, you know, if you really want to get into good shape and you really want to do it, it's the home. Yeah, you can do it, but you know, you go to the gym and do it. It's completely different. You know, the environment's there, the machinery, everything. So yeah, I mean We'll definitely get our next podcast will be about the most beneficial workout that I think.
We'll hold off till then. Yeah, but until then, I heard there's free classes with Genre. What's that about?
So we're starting. You know, I don't even know when this podcast will be released, but hopefully it'll be out on social media before that. We give away at least almost a week of free training to anybody who wants to try it. You know, so 3 days is a week we train, and we try to tell people, come try it out. I was giving one free trial class before, but I don't think you get the full effect of it. Yeah. You know, if you come for 3 classes, at least 2 to 3 classes for free, anyone can come and try it anytime. Just give us a call. You know, you could call us, you could ping us on Facebook or whatever you want, text message me. And you know, just let us know when you're coming, and we'll have it going for you. We have classes every night at Dar es Salaam right now. We're opening up more classes in Dar es Salaam. We have a 9:15 class right now. Hopefully, we're gonna have an 8:15 p.m., a 9:15 p.m. class, and inshallah, one class after Fajr. Right. Yeah. So you can come and try some classes, and you know they're always we always give that free trial. Yeah. Right? And so we're trying to put actually one whole class that's just dedicated to trials. Yep. Right. So, inshallah, you know, I mean, please, you know, come try it out. I think you guys will enjoy it, and hopefully, when the app comes out, we'll be pushing that too. You know?
Genre Elite. I heard that there's I was there, but once a month.
Okay, let me talk about that. That's awesome too. I was actually been meaning to talk about that too. Genre Elite is like I came to think of it. I was like, you know, people get together to play basketball once a month, once a week, you know, as friends. That's what we do, right? We're like, hey, let's play ball together, or let's do something together. So I was like, why not work out together? You know, we work out individually, and I have a lot of friends who work out on their own, and they have their own struggles and their own things, and we have clients and whatnot. So we thought, you know, once we try to work out once in a while together to do this kind of workout, and it's a tough workout, but it's something to kind of just, you know, come over there and you know, hang out with the guys. You know, there's like 5, 10 guys, 15 guys. We can go up to 20, and just have a workout together. You know, you should be. I think Genre Elite's not for newbies. It's for people who are already working out, who just want to have a community feeling and kind of get together, share ideas, work out together. You know, when we work out together, you push yourself harder. You get an amazing workout. You know, you get to hit PRs. You get to hit, learn some form. You get to learn some new workouts and stuff like that. So it's just kind of the same concept, but based around working out.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And it's fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun last time too, but we didn't get it. Mudge was injured. There was only 2 of us, so we didn't really get a chance to work out.
Yeah, we watch people
but the
more.
plan was for
yeah.
us to be working out with the guys.
Yeah,
too.
that's every month. It's once a month, and people have been asking when the next one is.
Yeah, and
So
it's not at. We actually rent out a separate location.
Yeah, separate location.
in Roselle, so it's a really nice place. I think.
There'll be one trainer running it, and the others will be working out with you guys.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to get all. I already spoke to a lot of our friends who already work out, and they thought it was a great idea. Like, get together and work out, and that'll kind of motivate them to continue to work out for the next 2-3 weeks until our next meetup.
And the last thing, females have been asking, not directly, but they've asked my wife. they've asked my wife, like,
Thank
okay,
you
when
clarifying.
are we going to open up a genre female? Yeah, women's genre.
I mean, my wife does do genre fitness side. We call it the fitness side for the women, and she's been doing it for a while. We obviously since we moved here, we have stopped. But yeah, I mean, inshallah, we're trying our best. We don't have a good location for that right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the place that we're using.
Will
right
the
now,
app facilitate females as well?
Yes, the app will definitely have a female presence to it too. So female-led workouts, female-led video workouts, right? So to show the video, and then there will be a female coach to deal with all the female clients. So.
Cool. I mean, we've
exceeded our time. What time are we at, Sim?
I think we're at like an hour 6 minutes, hour 10.
That's better than last time.
1 hour 1. Yeah, and that's because we did the whole plugs at the end. If not, we were actually really good to end.
Yeah.
Wanna close it
So,
off?
Muj, anything from you?
No, I'm good.
No, nothing defensive
Flex show,
CrossFit.
anything like that?
No. Shaq, anything from you?
Nope, I think we're good, man. It was
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah. Until next time, and you can join us for what's is going to be obviously the next topic, which we're not going to mention right now, but you figure it out. So on behalf of Muj and Shaq and Sim, this is Saad signing out. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy. Stay fit.
Stay strong.
Yeah. Stay strong, especially in this day and age. Spiritually, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Signing out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Triptonic.
Right. Okay, now I gotta get up for the flight and get up for training in the morning.
Like a soldier, I'ma stand up and pray to my Lord. Like a soldier, I'ma fast my 30 days for my Lord. Like a soldier, calculate zakat and pay for my Lord. Like a soldier, Hajj and Umrah gets made for my Lord. Like a soldier, I don't need to bust my gun to be a soldier. So they can say what they want, I'm a soldier. And I don't need to drop no bombs to be a soldier. So they can say what they want, I remain a soldier. Like a soldier, I'ma stand up and pray for my Lord. Like a soldier, I'ma fast my 30 days.